Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Watcher of Realms video. Guys, I wanted to talk to you about a few things today. We've got new events that have just dropped. We have got nerfs coming through. I wanted to give my view on the nerfs. Also, I want to understand your view on the nerfs, actually. And we've also got a new guaranteed like farmable fusion coming with the next patch as well. So lots going on. Maybe we start with the nerfs because it's going to be like the most contentious part of the video, probably the thing that most people have clicked on the video to talk about. So I'm in this kind of like place where I actually like if a game takes some control and says, we've built someone wrong. We've built someone wrong. He's too powerful and we've got to pull it back. Now, that should have all been done before the champion was released. I know that. It should have been done in a testing environment, etc. Right? But the fact is, sometimes these things get through, and some champions are just too strong, right? And the trouble is, it completely defies the balance of the game. Now, there's two schools of thought at this point. It's like, do you nerf this one anomaly? And I think it is potentially a one anomaly. There might be two or three which are very powerful. I just pulled Silas. He's a game changer for me. Some people might argue he's in that same camp, that he's too strong. I don't know. Some of the lords, you might say, oh, is it Proteus? I've seen videos. I don't have it myself. I've seen videos of Proteus just doing some insane work, like insane work. This dude just doing like insane work as a lord. But then you could argue, well, the lords are meant to be like that step up above everyone else that it makes some sense. But yeah, so it's a question of, do I nerf the one anomaly? Or do we bring other people up to the anomalies level? Now, the challenge you've got in this type of game, and I'm well in the mix of this, by the way. I am designing a game with a team. We're called Fateless. If you haven't seen it, we've got a separate YouTube channel where we talk about our game development as we're doing it. Okay, we're literally building a hero collector game, not a tower defense. It's a strategy turn-based RPG one. But ultimately, we're going through that balancing act right now. In fact, we're doing all of the math around champions right now. And it's a tough thing to balance, right? If you've got 200 odd champions in a game, it's quite a tough thing to balance. So it is possible that someone sneaks through and they're just really strong. Now, the challenge you've got in this style of game is that people are parting with hard-earned cash to get the hero, to get the champ on their account. That's the biggest problem. That's the big problem here. Because I went in for Boreas. I didn't get him. If I got him, I would have been like over the moon because I knew how strong he was. I know that Sham, who I'm good friends with, part of Fateless actually, he's got an A4 Boreas. And he uses him literally like everywhere. He was talking to me yesterday about him in Arena, and he said his whole Arena team is built around Boreas doing more ults. It's literally like he's got Benoma to make sure that Boreas has got an ult straight away. He's got Laurel in the team. He's got the horseback tank chick. Caden, is it? In the team. Anyway, he's basically, his whole team is built around Boreas. That's his only DPS because he's so strong. And he's in like Overlord, top 600 odd arena player, right? So there is something to say that Boreas is too strong. But the trouble is people have gone in for this. They've bought shards. And then also when the nerf happens, it's like, well, are you going to give me a chance to get my stuff back? The stuff I've invested into him? Because if he's no longer strong enough to compete, and I've invested all of these, like steel crystals into him, all of this cost, right? It's like, should I get that back? Or at least an option of having it back? So it's a real tough one. It's a real tough one in this style of game. Most people, I think, in the comments will probably say you should buff others rather than nerf the one. I do think in terms of game health, forget people's money for a second. In terms of game health, nerfing the one is the better mechanic. Okay, that's the better way to do it. But in terms of player base and their love for the heroes that they've pulled, the teams that they've built to do stuff with, that's a way more complicated conversation. So let's have a look at the changes. And they've said here in their kind of like blurb out to us, we've heard your feedback about Boreas. Ever since his release, we have been keenly observing the acquisition, development, and deployment related to Boreas. Today, we're pleased to share our design insights. This is on the Forerunner, by the way. It's not in the main the main game yet. It's why I'm showing you on screenshots. I don't know when this is going to come to the game. Don't know. Maybe it'll tell us in this. We designed Boreas as a core hero within the freeze lineup. His purpose was to synergize with other heroes possessing freeze and create a battle style focused on freezing techniques, which is cool, by the way. This style was suited for Gear Raid 1 and Arena. Yeah. However, Boreas' exceptional skill range and damage multiplier have made him effectively a standalone character in Gear Raid and Arena. Astonishingly, his exceptional performance in Arena has led to an imbalance, like I was just talking about. In order to restore balance and enhance your Arena experience, go to the next page. Is that the next page or is it this? Okay, looks like I've missed a little bit there in the screenshots I've got because I can't scroll down. But basically, they're going to do a rebalance of his skills. So we've got here, in terms of the changes, before he's getting a 200 to 225 damage multiplier on Frosty Endowment. After, he basically loses 50% of his damage multiplier. It's quite a big nerf, honestly. It's like 25% of your damage down the drain, pretty much. And then it says here, each attack will reduce the trigger interval of the next frozen putrefaction by a second. The effect lasts for, and then again, it's gone from 26 to 30 to 21 to 25. So again, it's not quite a quarter of it. Maybe it's like a 20% nerf on this part. And then the rage cap, 1300 to 1200 has actually been reduced. So they've kind of balanced it out a little bit. So it's not like a full harsh. It's like harsh. We're giving you a little bit back. Still pretty harsh though. Still pretty harsh nerf. Chilling blow. So we've got before, when enemies are inflicted with freeze, they also receive anti-healing, which basically meant like Lasir was in the dirt. You know, I've got Lasir. If I had Boreas, Lasir wouldn't be anywhere near my team. Yeah. But anyway, so it goes on for 3 seconds. When attacking enemies inflicted with freeze, also deals extra damage. So with this, it's going on for 4 seconds instead of 3. So you get more anti-healing time. And it's a small nerf on the damage. It's quite a big nerf on like the highest level of booking. You've got like 55% to 36-40. The low levels, it's not as big a nerf, but still, it's considerable damage reduction on his skills. We've then got here the frozen putrefaction, which was part of this kind of like first skill. When deployed, deals. This is before. When deployed, deals all this extra damage, up to 10 enemies in range. So the difference here is just nerfed at the highest level by 10% of. It's 20% reduction, but it's a 10% nerf at the highest level. Instead of 4.5 tiles, which is huge, honestly, in terms of range, it's 3.5. So still huge, but again, it's a nerf. Inflicts freeze for 2 seconds, now 1 second. That's a considerable nerf. Yeah. Doesn't sound like it, but to lose a second is a considerable nerf. The effect triggers 1 time every, and then basically reduction of the amount of times it triggers. And then instead of the skill trigger interval being reduced by 10, it's now 9. So I think that the challenge here is, I mean, I hope they're doing testing on this. I hope they're doing quite a lot of testing here, because if I think about nerfing a champion, and I see this, I play a lot of teamfight tactics, right? I see this considerably. You've got some hero, by the way, teamfight tactics, I've never spent a penny on the game. That's the difference. That's the difference here, right? Teamfight tactics, they'll be like, this hero is being overused, we'll nerf it. Now, sometimes you see it like this, where it's like, we're nerfing it in this place, this place, this place. They suddenly become unviable. Other times they do it slow and gentle. It's like, we're just going to do this one nerf, see how that affects performance. And if it's still overpowered or overused, they'll do another tweak and another tweak until it rebalances. Again, the challenge with this style of game is that you can't really do 3 nerfs in a row because people will be so pissed off. So you've got to just get it right. Ideally, you get it right on release. But if you can't get it right on release, you've got to get it right on the change so that you take the pain in one hit and then it goes away. It feels like this is a lot of changes to me. But then also, he is so strong compared to anyone else of his type, like a non-lord, that maybe it's what he needs. I don't know, guys. Like, it feels harsh. I don't own him myself, so I can't really give like an educated guess of how harsh this would feel. I don't know. I've not played with him enough or seen him enough to say, you know what, a 15 to 20% nerf across the board is what he needs to get him back down to like the level of strong. So it's a tough one. It really is. But this is quite a big nerf. It's quite a big nerf for a champion. I guess let me know what you think. If you are both a Boreas owner and a Boreas non-owner down below, I'd like to know your thoughts. Okay, let's talk about some of the in-game events that have just dropped. I do like this type of stuff. I've said it a number of times. I think if you haven't played other games like this, you're being blessed right now. Watcher of Realms do a good job of just bringing interesting stuff. So we've got the treasure hunt out there where you can earn some nice rewards. We've got the bounty challenge, which ties in properly to some of the other events that we're doing right now. Like there's an event for the for the material raid. So I actually kind of like this. I think Watcher of Realms do a good job. It's all easy to do stuff. It's not like you can't do this, but it gives you extra stuff. And the amount of extra fragments of divine summonings I've had. Are they called divine? I can't remember. Ancient summonings, sorry. I'm thinking of the game we're designing. Anyway, ancient summonings I've had through doing all of the different little bits and pieces that they drop in game. Actually a ton. So I think Watcher of Realms continue to do these events. So last couple of things I just want to touch on here, because this was not available when I first saw the patch news. We've got a new Immortal Codex boss coming. Again, I love this. I love the Immortal Codex stuff. I think it's fun. I think it's good. So it may be a little bit, though, of bad timing to be dropping Boreas as the new Immortal Codex boss as you're talking about the Boreas nerf, honestly. But anyway, we're going to get an Arbiter of Frost drop in real soon in the next patch, basically, for the next Immortal Codex. So it's going to be a Frost-based one. We'll see that when it pops out. But we've also got a new legendary hero. It's a time-limited fusion. So we've only had, as far as I'm aware, one other legendary fusion for like a time-limited one. We've had Abomination, which is like the ongoing one, but Crodor, new hero that's coming out. We don't know his skills yet, but he's going to be a tank. New legendary fusion. Fusions in this game generally are very achievable. As soon as I know his kit, I'll do a full video on him. But it says here, commanders who complete various events in this period will be able to earn Gogren, who can be fused into the epic hero Dryder over into the hero fusion tab. From there, Dryder can then be fused into the brand new legendary North Throne hero Crodor. Okay, I was like, did they get words wrong there? So yeah, okay, so it looks like you're going to have to fuse epics into the legendary. We'll see when this comes out, but new legendary tank, which is going to be a fusible hero. Looking forward to that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. So I guess in the comments, let me know what you think. I've been Hell Hades. If you like my content, please sub to the channel, and I'll see you soon.